All right, very quickly, take a look at these markets. Well, there you go. Take a look at that. There goes the Chinese robot again, who beat Usain Bolt's 100-meter dash record. He came in at 9.58 seconds. They're becoming so advanced that one developer says we're just 5 to 10 years away now from robotic soldiers. Yeah, you look at that video, it's creepy, fascinating at the same time. RoboStore CEO Ted Haggerty joins me now. Ted, I could watch these videos because they are fascinating. But let's start at the top here. How are we holding up against China in the race in robotics? Are we falling behind?
I think in some segments we are. Right now, we're looking at a little bit different of a go-to-market strategy. China works on individual performances, and I think in the United States, we're looking for this all-in-one robotic solution. So these Olympics show exactly that. We have segmented races like the running. That robot's not going to go do your dishes, right? So they're very segmented performances. And I think that's a key difference in the current markets right now, where robots have been prevalent in China for years, whether they've been serving food or just like a part of their society much more than we've had in the United States.
Let me ask you this. Are we ready to, for want of a better word, trust robots in the real world?
I think if we focus more on solutions, so we have one robot per one job, and that's the ethos of our company at Robo Inc. is we're developing solutions rather than an all-in-one humanoid. We've actually deployed the most robots that we know and as a private company, and deployment over development is kind of like our key right now. We need more robots in society to sort of learn how we're using them and the behaviors that we're expecting from them. So I think just moving solutions forward as a one robot per one solution is something that this craze should really bring. Companies like Universal Robotics and Standard Bots, they focus on arms and manufacturing robots where that's not a humanoid, but that's something we can deploy today. So I think it's an interesting way to sort of advertise the robotic community and bring these companies that had developed these incredible products that people may have not thought to bring them into their manufacturing line, their business. Now it's something that everyone's looking at.
Has technology advanced to the point where the capabilities of these robots are just increasing, more faster than they have in the past? In other words, the advancement in the technology is really starting to heat up.
Yeah, I think I've always been a believer that the hardware is actually superior to the software and putting it all together right now. I mean, the basis is, the robots that we're looking at creating and what we want are different than what's available today. So in the world of robots, I think like 1 year is 3 months. Every 3 months, I see some big advancement, whether it's a company like NVIDIA launching Brute, which just makes training much easier. We have a speed right now that's unprecedented to any other industry that I know. And I think that really goes hand in hand with what we're creating on the data center and AI side. And they really do overlap way more than people think.
Very quickly, Ted, of course, there's a military aspect to this. People say, oh, my gosh, we could have an army of robots going to war. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very plausible. I believe that, we're going to get to the point with the neural networks on these robots or something very advanced where they will be able to do universal tasks, right? So in the future, whether it's, a couple years out or 10, 20 years, you have to remember like Boston Dynamics was actually a key instrument to robotics in military use, right? They had a product, I believe, called the Mule. And it was basically to carry products, right? So the military aspect has always been something we've looked at in society on robots.
Very good. Well, fascinating stuff. And thank you so much, Teddy, for joining us today. Really enjoyed it.